Well, welcome to the stage, everyone, for what promises to be a fantastic panel discussion here, the title of which is Opportunities for the Next Generation in Protecting the Digital World. Now, this session dives into a world where tech meets security and ideas take the lead. Discover the art of building a career in cybersecurity, and we're going to learn how ethical hacking can shape a safer world. Now, really exciting in this session as well, we are actually going to be using some tech in action. We're going to be using Slido for an interactive question and answers session. So if you've got any questions, the guys will be explaining how to get involved throughout this, and we would really love to get your input, get those questions out there, and so that you really get as much out of this as you can. So chairing this session today is Andy Dodge. Andy is the Partnership and Business Manager at Cyber Innovation Hub. He's a seasoned professional. That doesn't mean he's old, that means he's very experienced. He's driving strategic engagement with diverse organisations here in Wales and also across the UK. His leadership and relationship building skills have been invaluable in fostering collaborations between private, public and the third sectors. So he's got a lot to bring to this panel discussion along with his great panel in front of us. So please put your hands together and welcome Andy and our panel to the stage.
Good morning. Oh, come on, you can do better than that. Good morning. Thank you. I'm so much better in front of a live audience. Cybersecurity. Don't let the word put you off. The industry is as diverse as the problems it seeks to solve. Whether you're looking at keeping people safe online, whether developing clean energy solution or transport systems, harnessing technologies like AI, or taking anything to take the friction out of our modern complicated lives, cybersecurity is going to be part of the solution of that. With the growth of technology and our interconnected systems, we need more people going into the sector. Over the last 12 months, it's been found 51% of businesses have a basic skills gap. 33% of businesses report an advanced skills gap. So there are cybersecurity technical roles and there are other non-technical related roles that all require an understanding of cybersecurity. I went to a talk on Monday, and people say, why is cybersecurity important? If cybercrime was a country, it would be the third richest country in the world, behind the USA and China. That's how big the problem is, and that's why we need people like you to enter the sector and develop the talent pool. So to try and persuade you to come into tech, we have a very established, esteemed panel here. We have Laura Bishop, from Airbus, as human-centric cybersecurity researcher. We have Esther, a graduate engineer, again from Airbus and Airbus Defence and Space. We have Holly Lidbury from CyberFirst project lead at the University of South Wales. And we have Rhys Driscoll, who I've just found out is taking my job by the title, who's Deputy Director, Academic Centres of Excellence at Cybersecurity at the University of South Wales and a member of the Cyber Innovation Hub. They're going to tell you about their background. They're going to tell you about their journey into cyber, and they're going to tell you what they do on a day-to-day basis to try and inspire you. As I said, we've got Slido, so you can submit questions using the QR code, and then we'll take those questions at the end. We've also got the opportunity with a roving mic, if you do want to stand up and ask a question, but otherwise, Rhys, our technical expert, will read them out for you. So, Laura, do you want to go first? And start talking about your background, journey into cyber, and then sort of things you do on a day-to-day basis.
Is it already on? Yeah. Hi, so I'm Laura Bishop and I work within Cybersecurity Innovations and Scouting Department in Airbus. And my role is Human-centric cybersecurity research. So I lead the program within the Cybersecurity Innovations and Scouting team, looking at what makes humans vulnerable to cyber attacks, how then cyber criminals further manipulate those vulnerabilities and interventions to try and mitigate cyber attacks. My journey has been quite interesting to get to where I am today. So back when I should have gone to university, I did 2 years of a law degree and then got offered a position as operations manager for a well-known organisation. During my 20s and early 30s, I then moved up from an operations manager to senior operations manager and then operations director in sales and marketing companies. And it was only when my third child was 1 year old and I wanted to change my career that I then went back to university to study psychology. So I'm already 32 at this point and I've got no interest in cybersecurity and never given it any thought whatsoever. So then during my undergrad degree, I ended up getting a high first. So the highest first won an award from the British Psychological Society and also got my final year paper published, which was on social robots. So I had an interest by that point in robotics, working with autonomous vehicles and social robots specifically. I then got offered 2 PhD studentships, one with Bristol Robotics Lab, and then one at Cardiff University, which was the cybersecurity of autonomous vehicles. So this was the first time I'd actually been faced with the word cybersecurity at all. So I decided to take that studentship. And then after 3 months of starting my literature review on the cybersecurity of autonomous vehicles, Cardiff University were approached by Airbus for some psychologists to come in and work in innovations in cybersecurity to see where they should be focused from a human perspective. So I decided to take that secondment. And then at the end of that 3 months, they said, will you scrap all you've done for your PhD, start again, and then focus it on what is of interest to Airbus? And I said yes. I spent the following 3 years conducting all of my experiments and studies during COVID, 3 kids, also working full-time on the side, to complete my PhD. And then during my write-up year, I went to work outside of Airbus for a cybersecurity awareness vendor, which was really interesting to understand what industries out there, what their focuses are when it comes to cybersecurity. And within the year, Airbus had offered me a position back with them to lead their research program in the human side of cybersecurity. And I'm at the very, very tail end of my PhD now. So I've had my viva, I have my corrections, they should be done. Hopefully within the next 2 weeks, I can put that joy to bed and carry on with my position at Airbus. My role is fantastic because not only is it for I believe, the best organization you can work for, they're really great. Also, the team is fantastic, and my role is fantastic because our focus is on what are the current novel concerns in cybersecurity, but also focused on what are the problems of tomorrow. So 5, 10, 15, 20 years, what are going to be the issues in cybersecurity? What should we be doing now to really address it? So I look at that from the interaction between the human and the technology. A lot of that at the moment is focusing on human augmentation, so perhaps how we can bring human and tech closer together. And then we also have a scouting side of it where we work with younger people to try and bring them into cybersecurity and particularly scout out the best talent for Airbus.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so much like Laura, my journey into cybersecurity was not straightforward either. So when I was in school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I thought I might want to be an architect because I just love designing houses on The Sims, but I think in practice it's a bit different to playing a game. So because I had no direction or no kind of aim, I was doing my GCSEs, wasn't really trying as much as I should have because my heart wasn't in it. And then when it came to choosing my A-levels, I was thinking, well, what's the point? Because I don't know where I want to end up, what I want to do in uni. So I thought at that point it's better for me to stop for a bit, take a break, go and work full time, and just see what happens. So I worked in a bank, and then when I was 25 years old, my friend invited me to a coding class, which was an evening web design class, and I really, really liked it. It wasn't programming as such; it was just HTML, but I could really like seeing the kind of bones of a website and how it all came together. And that piqued my interest in technology. So I started thinking maybe I could have a career somewhere in technology, but I had no idea where to start, and I couldn't base my career on one coding class. So I started looking at degrees that were available or courses I could do, and I looked at USW, who let me in, not on the foundation year, they let me straight in at on year one with no A levels to study computer science, which was really, really good. I came out of that with a first, which, considering how badly I did for my GCSEs, that was a really, really nice achievement for me. After I finished my degree, I was still a little bit lost, because although I had kind of found an interest in computing and technology, it's such a vast, broad area that I still didn't know where to go. I started applying for jobs, didn't really have a particular interest, and I think they could tell that in the interviews. So that didn't end up going very well for me, unfortunately. So I was thinking, what do I do next? And then, as if by magic, I got an email from someone at Cardiff Uni saying, we're doing this master's course in cybersecurity. It's fully funded. You've got a first in your undergrad. Would you like to come and do this course? And I was like, well, yeah, but I've never really done cybersecurity before, so would that be okay? And they seemed happy with that, so kind of just fell into it accidentally. But I really, really enjoyed the course because it was very, very different to my undergrad, which was a very kind of foundational, theoretical teaching. It was very, very hands-on. And we did a lot of things called CTFs, Capture the Flags, which is a kind of gamified challenge, if you like, which teaches you hacking skills. And the competitiveness in me really kind of forced me to do everything I could to try and capture these flags in these games. And it really, really got me interested. So that was my interest in cybersecurity, hooked really and cemented. And through Cardiff University, then they have a special relationship with Airbus, and they managed to get me an interview for their grad scheme, which is where I am now. So I'm just down as an engineer, which sounds a bit weird, but again, I'm here now. I sort of know where I want to end up, but they've given me the opportunity to, for the 2 years, kind of go around all the different departments in engineering. So you've got software, systems, cybersecurity, testing, and anywhere in between that I want to sit on for a few months, see how I like it. And at the end of the 2 years, hopefully I'll be able to secure a job in the area that I enjoy the most.
Hello. So my role is less within cybersecurity and more cybersecurity adjacent, I would say. So I'm actually a project manager within higher education, but the project that I work on is specifically to try and get more people interested in going into the cyber sector. So I guess my route into it is kind of relevant because it's coming in at the side. So I actually did my undergraduate degree in English literature. So completely different background, humanities background. When I went to university, I was kind of weighing up between doing English and maths. So I've always had this kind of interest in the more sort of STEM side of things. And then when I was in university, I did a temp role as project support for a large bank, where I really started getting into IT project management. But that was obviously alongside doing my English degree. And I think as a woman, that's quite a common theme that I've experienced in the industry is we kind of think that we have to choose either or. It's like it's either the STEM side or the humanities side. But the longer that I spend, talking and working with people in the sector, the more I understand that actually you don't have to kind of look at it as a binary. There's a way to combine those interests. And it actually kind of, that happens perfectly within the cyber sector. So after university, I tried to kind of shoehorn the IT, the digital, the project management stuff into my more humanities side. And I ended up going into digital marketing. So I worked in London for a year doing that, and it was horrible. It just was not for me. It was just a bit too much. And then upon hating that and needing to kind of like figure out what to do with my life, I decided to go an au pair. And I ended up in France, but right on the border with Geneva, where a lot of people from the UN work. And I ended up, as if by magic, in the house of the head of the ICC, which is the International Computing Centre. So I was having a bit of kind of like an existential crisis. Like, I've done English, but I'm really interested in tech. Like, how do I go back in? And I had a lot of kind of access to, obviously, people who worked in tech, and I did some work experience whilst I was out there, and just had a lot of pep talks from women who'd also gone into tech. And then I came back and I actually ended up doing a conversion master's into computing at Cardiff University. So for anyone who's kind of, you know, thinking, how do I get into this? Maybe I haven't done the right stuff so far. There's always a way to segue back in, which I think, you know, we've all seen here. So there are conversion master's courses as well. They don't make you an expert, but they give you enough kind of insight to understand what other people are talking about, and then you can worm your way in like I did. So yeah, did that, ended up again trying to combine the two in a way that didn't quite fit by teaching maths and IT. So I did my PGCE. And then ended up in this job, which is like the perfect synthesis of, you know, the education background, the humanities background, with my interest in tech and project management as well. So, yeah, I think maybe there's a lesson in there.
I'm completely opposite. I knew exactly where I wanted to go when I was the age of 15. Tech. I was a gamer. I was a geek. I loved all that kind of stuff. My teachers at secondary school in Stanwell, in Penarth, were amazing. They helped me. They inspired me. And I went off to Swansea University, did a degree, loved it, but then came out thinking, what am I going to do? And it was either websites, or websites. I wasn't interested in that at all. I then had a similar kind of experience. What do I do? You know, I'm not sure what I wanted to do. And my best friend had just finished mathematics teaching at Swansea University as well. And so I went on the journey of becoming a secondary school teacher. I spent the last 16 years until very recently as a digital leader within the secondary sector, within Newport, supporting Welsh Government, UK kind of arms, including CyberFirst, helping out with local kind of companies to do with digital education. And after 16 years, it was this lady next to me who basically inspired me to be the person I am now and to go into the career that I'm in now. Because education was a wonderful experience, but it wasn't what I essentially wanted to do. I really enjoyed cybersecurity. I really enjoyed the challenge of it. I'm not a programmer. I have dyslexia. I find it very difficult to concentrate on certain tasks. And all those kind of things, kind of growing up, were things that stopped me. But then as I met Holly and as I got involved with some of the schemes that she was involved in, it opened my eyes. And I thought, yeah, I want to do this. I can do this. And it was very difficult to kind of speak to my head teacher after 16 years and say, you know, I want to leave. I want to go into cybersecurity. You know, I knew nothing of the industry other than what I'd read. I didn't know the big players. I didn't know what skills I needed. I didn't know anything that was going to get me this, you know, high-profile security job earning millions of pounds a year. Didn't really happen. And instead, I kind of opened my eyes a bit more, and I discussed with people in the industry like Holly, well, what is there available to me in cybersecurity? What can I do? And I eventually now have a role with the University of South Wales. And in this role, I work with businesses and schools and outreach, doing lots of things to try and get people into cybersecurity, help digital education, and try and inspire people to, like me, the geeks, to try and get into it a lot more and think of it as a genuine opportunity to expand. You know, you don't have to be a programmer, and trying to get them to think of, you know, it's problem solving. And then following that, I'm now working with CIH in Cardiff. And I kind of got a fumble now, sorry. To kind of get into the role and support the wider Cardiff capital area. So in terms of CIH, the role here for me has been quite different. And working with them has been quite interesting because you don't really see as a secondary school teacher or as an adult what other people do, what other industries do. And the Cyber Innovation Hub in Cardiff is a collaborative kind of agreement between industry, so that's companies like Thales, Airbus, academia, so that's the University of South Wales and Cardiff University, and government, which is UK government and Welsh government, to try and transform the Cardiff area, to try and help people go into technology, into cyber, to try and transform their skills and to help them upskill or retrain in those kind of areas. And we're on a mission to kind of bring all of that together into developing that world-class talent pipeline. And we do this in kind of different ways. We foster collaboration between innovation areas, that's businesses, trying to get them started, trying to give them the opportunity and the means to expand and grow. It must be very daunting. I'm not going to lie, I haven't set up my own business, but it must be very daunting for someone to kind of jump into a world like cybersecurity and not know where to go or what to do or where funding is available. But the CIH supports them on that journey with our kind of collaborative partners, Alacrity and Tramshed and a few others. We provide access to high-class resources and technical kind of environments, which is really unique. It costs a lot of money to set up labs, which is computer rooms with technology. And CIH is responsible for opening that up to people, both existing industries and new and emerging industries. We're all about promoting Wales. This is a fantastic country. Maybe not so much recently because of rugby, but generally we do very, very well. Our education system is very different from those in England. We have great schools. We have lots of like that M4 kind of corridor where lots of businesses want to set up. And Wales can be at the heart of that. So we try and promote the fact that businesses should start up or join us in Wales. And in terms of that kind of area, we've got some really good successes. We've supported the launch of 20 new cyber security companies. That might be one person or might be several. We've helped secure over £10 million in funding for those businesses from Welsh Government and other areas. We provide excellent training from our trainers like Iftikhar at the front to industries who want to upskill or retrain. And we also provide that to individuals who want to look at developing and supporting them in that cyber kind of background or area. And we've attracted major companies like CGI, Thales to our country to help us grow and get better. We're having lots of kind of impact on that in the Welsh Government, in both education at secondary level and colleges like Cyber College Cymru, and we're looking to support that further with the University of South Wales and Cardiff University. It's having a big impact on the economy. Andy talked about earlier on fraud and talked about being the third largest kind of country. It's about us helping our country recognize that we've got that potential to get in on that, cash in on that, and make our country a safer place as well. And we're also having a positive impact on the young people. When I say young people, I don't mean primary school as such, or even secondary. It's like that A-level kind of student, kind of undergraduate level at university. We're getting involved in academic projects. We're supporting them on their training. And then we're giving them the opportunities to learn more about how they can get into the cyber industry. I think that's what's been really good being in this role. Yes, I always wanted to go into tech, but I didn't know I'd end up here. And, my background in secondary education has been really supportive in helping me achieve what I want. But it's supporting us as CIH, as part of University of South Wales and my collaboration with Cardiff University, CyberFirst with Holly and loads of other kind of companies. The opportunities are endless. You, as a student, if you're out there thinking, I want to go into cyber, you've got to grasp it. You've got to go for it. You've got to find out that information. There are companies and support available like CIH. You can get you involved in cybersecurity. But ultimately, you've got to do it yourself. You've got to find that information out. You've got to inquire, be inquisitive, find out more, do more. Don't expect it to come to you because it won't. And you've got to, kind of put yourself in the best light and say, I want to be part of this. What can you do to support me? And there are lots of organizations, lots of businesses, academia, and organizations like CIH that are there to support you if you want it.
Thank you. As you can see from our panel, there are a variety of routes into cyber. Right? There's no one pathway into that, and that's what we want you to take from today. So, first of all, give our panel a round of applause. They've been brilliant. I think a special round of applause to Laura. Dr. Laura, can we call you that? Not yet. Okay. All right. We'll let you know when we can. So, Rhys being our technical geek on the stage, as he calls it, do we have any questions from Slido?
We do. We have, what is the typical starting salary for a BSc computer science graduate in the cyber field?
I'll let Airbus take that.
Sorry. So at the moment, the graduate scheme at Airbus, it starts at 30,000 for year one, and then it goes up by £2,000 in year two, so it'd be 32,000. After that, then once you're taken on for a role, I believe the minimum is 35. That is the minimum. So once you've done your 2 years, sort of learned enough and proven yourself, if you like, it could be a lot higher than that once you've got through the grad scheme.
Anybody? And the good news is for you, there's a skill shortage in cyber. So at the moment, the salaries are going up. So if you're money driven, like Mr. Professor Burnett over here, the salaries are very healthy at the moment. So this is certainly a sector you want to get into. Rhys, any other questions?
What attracted you to the career?
I'll pass that to Laura, first of all.
I'm not going to lie, I was attracted probably more to working with Airbus than cybersecurity when I took it. Airbus, I just heard, was a fantastic organization to work for. And I still stand by that now. What's so great about Airbus is they really do give you the opportunity to trial different things, not just on a graduate scheme, but I'm involved in things that are so far-reaching. You wanted me to mention that I was watching wing manufacturing this morning at Airbus in Filton. And so you really can get involved in lots of different areas within Airbus. So I think that was what I loved. But from the psychology point of view in cybersecurity, we would all be lying if we didn't say it was kind of cyber criminal profiling, that sort of thing that we were hoping to do. Unfortunately, it's not all about that. It's more about working out kind of what the end user, why the end user is vulnerable, what makes a human vulnerable generally, and then what we can do to try and better support them. But then also it's more focused now as well on those people that are like security operators and seeing where their vulnerabilities lie. But yeah, it was probably the organization first.
I would do the same question to Rhys. I know you're so talk about your last role, and then your current role.
For me, it wasn't money. For me, it wasn't money. It was the fact that I got to be around more technology and see things work differently to what I've been in. You know, as a secondary school teacher, I was about teaching Python. There was a certain curriculum that you had to do, and I think I did quite well. Adrian, one of my ex-students, is in the front. He can attest to how amazing I was. But but it wasn't about the money. For me, it was about the experience and the opportunities to kind of go and meet new people, do new things, play with new tech. Flexible working hours, very good. I'm very happy with the fact that I'm not, stuck between a desk 9 till 5. I'm able to go out and meet new people and try new things. And I think the last thing from why I was attracted to the role was it was pretty cool, kind of meeting people from government and meeting people from industries and businesses and not knowing who they are and then telling you about what they do and how they do it. And then, that to me, that was just like so cool because it was very different from what I'd ever done before.
Brilliant. Do we have any other questions?
One more question is, what are the pathways into cyber from sixth form upwards?
Holly? No pressure.
Oh gosh, top of my head. Right, so I guess it depends. So you yeah, thank you. I find this a tricky question because I think it's important to remember that cybersecurity is an entire sector. People think it's one job, so there's going to be like a specific route. But before you even decide what pathway you want to take, you need to understand what area you're interested in. So I'd say the first thing to look at is CyBOK, which is the cyber body of knowledge. It's a really kind of easy way to break down the different areas that you can go into, start exploring maybe, what excites you. And then once you've done that, I'd have a look at which university courses focus on those areas of interest for you. So I think a lot of people, when they go to university, will kind of look at the league boards and look at which are top for their subject, or maybe it's based on location, I don't know. But I think the single most important factor is actually drilling down into the modules that they teach at those universities and seeing which ones match, align with your interests, which areas of cyborg you're interested in. So yeah, there's the university route, loosely. If you're interested in cyber law, maybe Swansea is the place to go. If you're interested in more kind of like computer science, typical programming, and want to go more that academic route, maybe Cardiff is where you look. If you're interested in stuff like digital forensics, that's the specialism of USW, so more of the law enforcement stuff. So it's really just looking at the different university specialisms and what matches to you. That's the academic pathway. I speak to a lot of employers as part of my role, and I'd almost argue that some of them favour vocational pathways in this industry sometimes, because you come with that practical knowledge. So there are lots of degree apprenticeships available in cybersecurity as well. Thales often got Connor at the back, who did the Thales degree apprenticeship, if you want to ask him questions. Obviously Airbus.
Connor, stand up.
Sorry. There are other companies as well across Wales and wider that offer degree apprenticeships in broader technology fields, and then you get the opportunity to specialise later on if you don't want to figure out what you're interested in now and you'd like to try different things first. So degree apprenticeship model is a really good way to get into the industry, but it's also worth mentioning that like Andy said, there's so many skill shortages at the moment. It's such a high priority for government to get more people into this industry that there is an awful lot of funding support available. So if you're interested in this, definitely have a look at the CyberFirst bursary, which is open for applications at the moment. Get paid £4,000 a year just to exist. Sorry, I shouldn't be saying that. To assist with your studies.
It might be a bit more than just existing.
Yeah. But you can study whatever you want. That's what's amazing about the CyberFirst bursary. You can go and study music if you want. But if you're also interested in cyber, you then get industry level training during the summer that's fully funded. You get placements at different companies that are paid for as well. So it's a way to kind of, like I said, combine your different interests, not do a kind of like either or situation. So that's the big one, but there are also local companies as well. So Thales offer a bursary as well. I'm looking at Connor because I don't know if it's still available. Yes, still available. And just have a look what else is out there, because there's an awful lot of initiatives.
Holly, can you just give us a very quick overview of the support that's available to schools for programs like CyberFirst?
Yeah, of course. So CyberFirst is the NCSE's education and outreach arm. They're trying to direct a diverse pool of talent into the industry. It's very important that we attract more than just, one type of person into the industry, because if you want to create the most secure solutions, you obviously need to look at things from different angles. So we need people who think from different perspectives. So that's their tagline, their goal: diverse pool of talent into the industry. To do that, you have to work with schools, you have to work with students earlier on in their lives before they kind of decide what they're capable of, what their interests are. So they've got an entire schools outreach program that focuses on increasing diversity in the students who choose to go on to computing pathways. So that's kind of the biggest variable that we look to deal with as part of the CyberFirst program, is trying to get students to take computing GCSE subjects, computing A-levels, computing BTECs, so that whatever they decide to do, wherever they want to go with their life, they've got that grounding understanding of technology that helps you to come full circle, hopefully.
Can I just add to that, just to quickly talk about our innovations team at Airbus, because it really does highlight some of the points you mentioned there. So in our innovations department, it is about trying to fix novel ideas. So you do need an array of different skills. So we have some people that are from a computer science background, some with specialisms in AI, but then we have an ex-police digital forensics specialist who has no education, so to speak, just vocational, and he's highly valuable to us. In personal life as well. He's absolutely excellent guy to know. I'm psychology. We've got someone on our human factors team whose background is in physics. We are a really random bunch, and we're kind of proudly known in Airbus as being so random, and that's why we're so good at our jobs of trying to bring something different in cybersecurity. So it's not just her word. It does actually happen out there in industry.
So Holly mentioned that Airbus do the degree apprenticeship scheme. So if you were interested in applying for that, you don't have to have done a computing or like a maths A-level or anything like that. As long as you've got ideally one STEM A-level, but that could be in biology or psychology or anything STEM. We will look at, and it works. You get paid for 4 days a week. So you paid, I think it's £20,000 a year, and then you'd have the other day a week to go to university. All of your course fees are paid for, and it's for 5 years. And they've currently got software, hardware, cybersecurity, and I think there was another one as well. But if you are interested in applying for next year, the applications are still open for, I think, another week. So be quick.
Some of the big companies I've been discussing and working with recently really favour the degree apprenticeship route. So it's kind of difficult in secondary schools to understand what the difference is between a degree and a degree apprenticeship. Degree apprenticeship is basically earn while you learn. So you're going to be earning money whilst learning. And some companies, some organisations will pay for your fees, will give you additional kind of benefits on top of that. And that is like very different from a normal, what we call undergraduate degree, which is where you are funding yourself potentially through that kind of program and learning. And lots of industries are not just cyber, but there are others who are looking to support those kind of degree apprenticeship roles. In Wales, we have a large number of companies out offering degree apprenticeships. They might not always be advertised very well, but they are there. And if you ever want to kind of learn more about those, contact us at the Cyber Innovation Hub or Cardiff University or South Wales University, and we'll try and identify those for you. But as part of CIH as well, we offer organisations the ability to upskill or reskill their staff. So Cyber Innovation Hub provides training and support for industries who maybe don't have a presence in cyber or who do, and they want to kind of improve those areas.
So with a few minutes left, do we have any questions from the audience?
Hi. So from an offensive cybersecurity point of view, what sort of organisation would you say would be best for gaining the skills? We're ignoring money for the time being, but for purely gaining the skills to start in a career. Like, for example, would a bank be better, or would a manufacturing company be better, or the big tech companies?
I'll pass that to Rhys. That's known as a hospital pass.
There's going to be a lot of competition going for the big companies. A lot of competition. That doesn't mean don't go for it, but look at other companies, smaller kind of companies that maybe have more scope and maybe a local to you, or that you have an interest in, that might be able to support you further. So you've got some here, obviously today, and you've got others that aren't here because they're not in Wales, maybe. But there are a lot of SMEs, which are small or medium kind of companies, who have lots of different roles. And I think those would be the ones I would say look at as well. Don't discount them. Go and look for them. They're hidden, not say hidden, but they're not things that people want to kind of aim for. Like in a secondary school background when I was teaching, every child who thought they could code was going to go to Google or Apple. Not really. It's great to have that ambition, but there are so many other businesses and opportunities out there. Again, you've got to go and look for them, and those will provide you those kind of opportunities that might not be in Thales's or Bridewell's kind of niche area, but they might be something that you might be interested in. And there's plenty of them. We have in Wales, we've CIH has supported over 20 businesses, which is fantastic. And there are lots of others that are being supported through the NCSC, who Holly works with, to kind of bring them up, and those might be something to look at as well. But I think, hopefully that answers your question.
Is this advice for yourself?
Sort of. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking like, bang.
Can I ask how old you are and if you're studying at the moment?
So I'm second year computer. No one
Yeah.
else hear me. Well, I'm second year computer science in Cardiff.
Oh, right, okay. There's a project called Venture Graduates that's funded by Cardiff Capital Region, and they provide free recruitment support to companies within growth sectors. So what Rhys was talking about, if you're looking to, find the lesser known companies, if you register with them, there'll be graduate opportunities with SMEs, and they're the ones that are harder to find for individuals. You can apply for all the big companies, but that's a easy route into finding those SME opportunities.
Sorry, could you repeat the name of that
It's called
organisation?
Venture Graduates. It's by Cardiff Capital Region.
Are there any other questions from the audience? I'm very conscious of... Oh, yes, we have a question at the back.
Hi. Sorry, can you hear me? Oh, okay, hi. So I just want to find out if you are, say, an entrepreneur or someone who has the mindset of starting a company or a startup, how would your company support such an individual?
Are you talking a tech company?
Yes, I'm talking about a tech company.
We have a venture building program funded through Lacrity program. Rather than do a detailed answer, because I'm conscious of time, I suggest come and talk to us. In fact, everybody, if you want to come and talk to us, the Cyber Innovation stand is the easiest way to describe it. It's opposite the coffee shop in the corner. It is the best way. Come and talk to us, and we can talk about our venture building program and how you can get involved in that. I'm just very conscious that I can't give you a detailed answer now.
Welsh Government and UK Government are really pushing young startups, so there's lots of opportunities.
Any other questions from the audience? Well, thank you. I think we're just about out of time now.
Well, I think that was a fascinating discussion. I think, really interesting to know that you don't have to have all the answers when you're 18. And, there's so many opportunities out there. And even if you do have the answers at 18, you can still change your mind later on. So I think that's really inspirational and, nice to know that there's no set path for any of you. So thank you so much for talking about your own experiences and giving us a real insight into the industry at the moment and how it's working. We've still got some more great panel discussions coming on at the stage here. Our next session is at 12:45. That's called Building a Career in Semiconductors Technologies, the Hidden Technology in Everyday Devices. So, if you're thinking maybe cyber industry or maybe semiconductors, then make sure you get along to that as well. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for all your questions, both online and in person. And I'd like just to end by thanking all of our panelists, Andy, Laura, Esther, Holly and Rhys. Thank you so much.